All right, winter is here. You know the drill. The temperature plummets, the heat clicks on, and suddenly you're in that all too familiar monthly battle. And that's when the fight begins, right? The age-old battle between your comfort and your bank account. Every time you even think about turning up the heat, you can almost hear your wallet start to cry. So who's actually winning that fight in your house?
I mean, it's the classic dilemma. You're stuck having to choose. Are you going to be warm and cozy, or are you going to save some money? But what if I told you that's a false choice? What if you could actually have both?
So what's the secret? Well, it all starts with this number right here, 10%. That is how much you can realistically save on your heating bill every single year. And look, 10% might not sound like winning the lottery, but over a whole winter, that can easily add up to hundreds of dollars back in your pocket.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't some random number I pulled out of thin air. This comes straight from the US Department of Energy. It's a proven, powerful strategy. The real trick, though, is figuring out how to do it without feeling like you're living in an igloo. Okay, so let's get into it. First stop, the command center of your entire home heating system, your thermostat. This little box on the wall is where the magic happens. Seriously, this is where you're gonna find your biggest and easiest wins.
So, what is the golden number we should be aiming for? Well, according to the experts, it's this, 68 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 20 degrees Celsius. This is pretty much the perfect sweet spot that balances being comfortable with being efficient. And the whole strategy is, well, it's just so simple. It's basically a two-mode system. When you're home and walking around, you aim for that comfortable 68. But when you're gone for the day or tucked in for the night, you just let it drop by 7 to 10 degrees. It's brilliant, really. Your furnace gets a little break, and so does your bank account.
So if we break this all down into, let's say, 5 golden rules for mastering your thermostat, here's what it looks like. First, make your life easier. Get a programmable or smart thermostat to do the work for you. Then, you lock in that 68-degree baseline. Third, you program it to drop when you're away or asleep. Fourth, and this is important, you avoid big, sudden changes. And finally, if you can, use zone heating to avoid warming up rooms you're not even in. All right, so you've totally mastered your thermostat. You're feeling good. But we can do better. Let's level up with a few other efficiency hacks that'll make your home work even smarter and really lock in those savings. Okay, let's run through a quick-fire checklist here. First, seal up any air leaks around your windows and doors. You're not trying to heat the whole neighborhood, right? Make sure your insulation is actually doing its job and trapping that precious heat inside. Keep your system maintained. And oh, this is a cool one. Flip the switch on your ceiling fan so it spins clockwise. It actually pushes the warm air that rises back down to you. And of course, smart home stuff can automate all of this. Now, all of those are fantastic tips, but I want to zoom in on one of them because there's one super simple task that makes a huge difference, and honestly, a lot of people just forget about it.
Yeah, I'm talking about system maintenance, which sounds kind of intimidating, I know, but really, the number one thing you can do yourself is just change your furnace filter. Think about it. A dirty, clogged filter is like trying to breathe through a coffee straw. Your system has to work way, way harder, which wastes a ton of energy.
And this is not a huge chore, I promise. The rule of thumb is pretty simple. Just take a peek at the filter once a month and plan on swapping it out for a new one every 1 to 3 months. That's it. A clean filter means a happy, efficient furnace. Okay, that was a lot of info, I know. So let's boil it all down. We're gonna wrap this up with a simple, actionable checklist, something you can literally start using the second this is over. Think of this as your cheat sheet. When you're home and awake, we're sticking to that 68-degree baseline. When you're away from home or sleeping, you program that automatic setback to let it drop 7 to 10 degrees. And the big rule at all times is to keep things steady. Avoid those wild temperature swings. It really is that simple.
And really, that's the most important thing to take away from all of this. You are in the driver's seat here. None of these are complicated or expensive fixes. We're just talking about simple adjustments and new habits that put you firmly in control of your heating bill.
So now you've got the blueprint, right? The roadmap to saving potentially hundreds of dollars is right there in front of you. The only real question left to ask is, what are you going to do with all that extra cash?